What is up, friends? My name is Laura. If you've never visited my YouTube channel before, welcome. Perhaps you have been looking for some friends, family, loved one to go on a trip with you and no one is available. No one feels like going to the country that you're looking for, or maybe you just want to do this for yourself. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you 5 things I wish I knew before starting my solo travel adventure. If you don't know, I have traveled to many countries, but about 40 of those have been completely by myself. I started a little smaller in countries like Ireland where they were totally English speaking. It was a lot easier, and definitely made my way to some more difficult countries. And I wish I knew some of these tips, so let me get into it right away. The first one is actually going to be something that I also probably makes me love solo travel, and this is my reasoning for loving it, is solo travel means you are by yourself, and that means that you can do whatever the heck you want to do in that country. Whether that means you are at the Eiffel Tower, you don't actually feel like going up it, you just feel like reading a book in front of it. Whether that means you just want to drink coffee all day because it's amazing there. Whether that means you are in Rome and don't actually care about the Colosseum and you would rather just eat a bunch of pizza. Whether that means you go into an incredibly beautiful area of the world, but you actually just want to visit those villages, and that's what you are all about. So I say all of these things because you are in charge of your own itinerary. So a lot of times when you actually are going somewhere, it's so good because it actually will allow you to understand what you are looking for. That means you do not need to look at some sort of specific itinerary, what you're supposed to look at. You don't need to ask the person to your right or to your left, what do you all feel like doing, eating, seeing? So keep that in mind before you do your next solo travel adventure. That is actually a very selfish, and be selfish about it, experience. This does mean that you are able to see it all if that's what you choose, but also keep in mind that you don't need to, and really just focus on the things that you want to do and go and enjoy yourself. The second thing is going to be about cost. I will say when I've solo traveled, a lot of times I'll stay in a hostel, whether that is actually in a room full of other, probably females, like 6 of us, or you're getting my own room within a hostel. I just find it an easy way to actually meet people. With that said, you're not sharing the cost of, say, a room with a loved one or a friend. You're not splitting the taxi costs. You're not splitting these little costs that really do actually add up. So when you actually look at it, costs will definitely actually increase. With that said, since you're not having to do anything that you don't want to do, like I was just saying, you're able to use that money or save that money or spend more money on things that you actually do want to do. So although you're not able to share the costs of maybe getting that flight over to that specific island, maybe you didn't actually want to do and go to that island and see that thing that your friend wants to do. So keep in mind that your costs are going to increase. But if you are more on a tighter budget, you definitely are able to meet people along the way that are also wanting to go to the same kind of things as you, and maybe you're able to split that cost. The third one on my list might sound a little bit sad, but I feel like people either think this is going to be more extreme than it is or less extreme, but it is a lonely experience. I will say, especially at the very beginning, and I always think this, even myself going to 40 different countries by myself, I think the first few days are always this like adjustment period to being like, okay, no, this is actually what you're doing. This is how you're supposed to travel again, Laura. You just have this backpack. Don't think of what I should wear tomorrow because there's like 3 things. If you are living the hostel life, you're kind of repeating your same story quite a bit before, you might meet someone that's more like your age or, the same like life experiences, or you just connect with a little bit more. So you're probably repeating yourself to other travelers like a lot. There's been a few times where I just get like really bad anxiety on a trip and someone invites me, to grab dinner with their group, and I have a wonderful time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I just need to like be around people that like I could speak, English with, my specific language, and actually like just connect with people and just kind of talk about our travels, and that like kind of brings me back to being Laura. But although, like I'm saying, you're able to do whatever you want, of course, sometimes those things you might actually love experiencing, with a loved one. So keep in mind, you probably are going to meet some of your best friends around the world while you're traveling, but with that said, it might actually be a lonely experience as well. But that is where a lot of personal growth can come from. The next one on my list is actually going to be, you are really just relying on yourself. So if you're someone who loses things, stop being that person, or have some sort of kind of game plan going in. I actually did a video a couple ago, and I'll leave that link below, but basically just talking about hidden places that you could, you know, have your money or have backup money or have your card or whatever. But it, you know, your passport is going to be so important to you. You won't have someone there to you know, ask for some money. Say you lost your credit card, or you lost your debit card, or your bank is flagging you for, you know, not letting them know that you're in a foreign country. So do know that you are depending on yourself. And this even means like when you're going into a new country, not all of them, a lot of them know, but for example, for myself, when I was traveling through Asia, every single country except for Thailand, I believe, I needed their own visa, which meant I had to have US dollars. I couldn't believe actually when I was going through Vietnam, and you have to give them, it was like 119 US dollars, I'm gonna say around there, don't quote me, on arrival to get your 30-day visa. And I couldn't believe how many people, when they landed, they did not have it, and they do not have, you know, US dollar currency. And they were just, I don't know what they ended up doing. I'm guessing they could get out of it somewhat how, but like the line was super long for this visa, and they don't have someone to like look to their left or their right and be like, could you just loan me this money? I'll pay you back right away. You know, they were in a pinch. So keep those kind of things in mind, that you are relying on yourself. So be super, super specific when it comes to your passport, any cash, any cards, anything like that. Okay, this next one's actually just gonna be a fun solo traveler tip. And honestly, maybe not even if you're a solo traveler, but when I was thinking of this video, I had to include this. And my ID, I am not in university or college anymore. I'm a little older, I'm in my 30s. And, but when you actually have your student ID, mine did not have an expiration date. It didn't even say anything about a date. Anywhere in Europe, it was always like a $4 discount anywhere if you showed your student ID. So I always, to this day, travel with my student ID. The final solo travel tip, it's kind of going to be a little bit of everything, but I did tell you at the beginning of this video that my first trip was through Ireland. I know a lot of people, their first trip is not just like as easier of a location, but I really like that just because of, like I was saying, like the English speaking. They drove on the other side of the road, but that was okay. And it was just a really easy place for me to actually go and meet people and travel for my first time. From there, I went to Scotland, I went to England. Again, all of those are fairly easy for someone from North America. That said, I think like New Zealand was really high on my list for these reasons as well. With that all said though, just do it. And that would be like my final tip, is like go somewhere that you feel comfortable with, but also like if it's not a country that is English speaking and you've always wanted to experience it, or you only have a little bit of time off, but you really have always wanted to go there and you can't find someone, you're like, is solo travel for me? I really highly recommend it. I think I talked to a lot of different solo travelers, obviously keep up being friends with them to this day, and even if they are like in a loving relationship now, that person understands that solo travel is something that they enjoy doing. I know myself, I've been in relationships, and I definitely do go off for a month or two at a time, and really enjoy it. There are so many different quotes out there about having like experiences over things, you know, about making memories, all those kind of things, and solo traveling will definitely do that. It definitely will give you a few extra gray hair, I will also say that, but it is just an experience like no other. So I highly recommend it. Let me know in the comments if you've ever done it, if you have anything else to add, or if you haven't, which country you'd love to go to. My next solo adventure, I'm not 100%, but I for sure will be going to Sweden next year. So I'm thinking I'll probably do some other countries that I haven't experienced around there by myself. So very fun. Please give this video a quick like. It is the smallest thing that you can do to support me, support my dog Thor, and support the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon. Keep living life. Bye.